Hello everybody, they call me Muse and I welcome you back to Baldur's Gate 3 with our Honourable Lady Movin Gurga Jones. I was feeling extremely nervous about this session, but Lulu's decided to finally get her butt off my keyboard just in time for me to begin. So all should be well. Let's take a look at what we've got going on. We've got a shield mould. That's good. I think we also want a medium armor mold. Forget where we get that from. But it's around here somewhere, isn't it? Is it on a skelly bone? Or is it just lying about? We'll find it, I'm sure. Ooh, all sorts of treasure there. We've got a dust up ahead with some animated armors. So we should probably get on with that if we can. There it is, there's the medium mold. So you guys are just chilling. You're level 4. Which means this shouldn't be too bad. We could probably surprise you to make it a bit easier still. Bam. Okay. That has got its attention. But it didn't surprise it, and now it's wandered down here to say hello. Very well. Hello, animated armor. We can't reach you with Karlach, so we're going to shoot you. Despite their high defense, we are achieving great success with our rolls. This is great. Now, you two can probably stay up there for now. You are just about in view. So we're going to shoot you just because you thought you were safe around the corner there. And I want to make it very clear that you are not safe. Oh, we've got a third attack for some reason. Okay, we'll take it. Not quite sure why. But that's fine. Will is going to need to head in because he's a melee boy. But still, this turn he can try a bit. To no avail. That's fine. He did his best. And then I feel like this fight's not going to need much in the way of regular spells. They're resistant to poison and psychic. Nothing on there about fire. But it can still miss. Because of course it can. So you're coming down, the other one is staying up. The other one will ping us a bit. We've got no need to stand for that. And now. Karlach, yeah, stab this one please. Or not. Very well. We'll give it the bees. Mo should be able to reach this one. And it didn't see that coming. Now let's have a look. It's very much dead, so why don't we turn invisible again? Is there a one-turn cooldown on that, perhaps? Who can say? Will continues to not do a great deal. Why aren't you doing much? Is it because... No, your weapon is hexed. I guess it's just because you're bad. I mean, you've got charisma for days. So it's a bit of a mystery. I mean, everyone's got issues because these guys do have high defense, so... Yeah, I guess you just got less lucky on your rolls than everyone else. Then we'll take that mould. So what's on today's agenda? Lava Elemental, I guess. Mephits. Grim. who I'm scared of. I mean, I'm scared of all of the
Heading out.
honor mode fights, to be honest. I keep looking at the list and I'm like, oh, that would be a bad one. Oh, but then that's going to be a rough one. Oh, and that one's going to be awful. So, yeah. But this is definitely one I don't want to fight. But needs must. Good job with the mining, Will. Dig us up a mound while you're over here. Was a good chap. Don't think there's anything else over here. No. Unless I'm just missing it again and I miss it on every playthrough. Which is possible. There's probably entire sections of the game like that where I just keep missing the same thing over and over again. Because you get into a pattern, you're like, oh no, there's nothing over there. And then,
build my castle
because of that, you don't look on your future playthroughs and you just keep missing the same things. But I'm fairly sure there's nothing else in that direction. So methods. I think if we go in with just Mo, then she can get surprised and then the rest of them will avoid a surprise round. Okay, so Mo's surprised. Come on, crew. But is it worth it if they're all just getting their free hits in anyway? Oh no, Karlach is now surprised. Yeah, everyone is surprised, so breaking up the team like that wasn't worthwhile at all. Now everyone's gathered around Mo. Is that good for us? Maybe. She could switch to non-lethal to stop them all exploding on it. But we're probably going to have another rest before we fight Grim, so don't think it matters too much. Okay, and pushing them into the fire doesn't do a lot because they can fly. And they're made of fire. Are they made of fire? I don't know much about methods. No, I thought Will couldn't drop his weapon. It looks like he hasn't dropped his weapon because it's hexed. So, good job there, Nobber. Down we go. So let's double check. Yeah, he's still holding his weapon. Amazing. But now he's also pretty useless up here. Unless he wants to ping some buggers with his bow. With decent damage. Okay. No, these guys are, as you might expect, immune to fire. So that puts Gale in a bit of a pickle. But they're vulnerable to frost. Which means he can leave them on 1 HP. Good job, Gale. It's Mo. Bit of a smash. And then, yeah, invisibility immediately wears off. She's taken a lot of damage. We should have probably turned on non-lethal. But so be it. Like I say, we're taking a full rest before we fight Grim. And maybe Karlach gets in a bit of a shot on whoever she can. Can Gale hit that spawn again? Yeah, he can. And can Will reach that one? Is that range? Probably. But there we go. Now, death is close at hand. Everyone else is now going to start running through fire, probably, because they're all a bunch of idiots. I should probably just press G, you know. Just to try and prevent this. Although, as it stands, these two are up here anyway, so all is well. Gale, do you want to come down? I guess we could slash the mithril with Mo. It feels more appropriate to do it with
2 steps at a time.
a bludgeoning weapon. Oh, no. Whoops. That's a bow, Will. Use your big hammer. Good man. Therein lies the question, though. Do we have any more bludgeoning weapons about our person? Let's just do it this way. Might have taken them all back to camp. Which is fine, because we're going back to camp before the Grim fight. But it's possible that he is more vulnerable to bludgeoning attacks than anything else. I mean, ideally, I'd like to just smash him with the hammer, same way as you would on any other difficulty mode. But I'm not sure how well that works on honor mode, because I've never done it before. There might be extra tricks to the fight that I'm not familiar with. First up, though, lava elemental. Let's all stand up here, please. Stop trying to stand in the lava, you big spoons. Now someone set themselves on fire again. Good grief. So we want Will to go head on with this lava elemental, because it heals itself in the lava. He's got a doom hammer, so he can hopefully prevent this. Is there anything else we need to know about this thing? It's vulnerable to cold, and it's not very vulnerable to piercing. Gale, would you like to start the fight? Good. So it's not terribly vulnerable to piercing, but we're not going out to meet it in the lava. So piercing damage it is. Quite a devious little combination, that. Making it strong against arrows when it starts out here, and you definitely don't want to be running up and saying hello to the bugger. Now, maybe Will steps up top for the moment. Let's see. Let's pull the others back a bit. Let's also ping it with a hand crossbow. Bit of no luck. But Will, can we move you up here? Yes? Stop fucking changing your mind halfway through the move, you prick. Good enough. It's bone chilled. It's not going to heal this turn. And it's going to dash. Wonderful. Now, bone shield has worn off. It is still in lava, though, I think. Can Will get in and smack it? Or is he just going to light himself on fire? He's probably going to light himself on fire, so yeah, bone chill again. And we'll wait for it to come a bit closer to us. Just a bit more of the old... I mean, a bit of the camera screwing us over, for a start. Turning the camera does not seem to help. Okay. Bit of Glacius. Or Glacius. I think it should be Glacius, but what do I know? I'm not a sorcerer. Yeah, come on up. Oh, don't hit Gale. You're supposed to hit Will. That's Gale's fault for having tiny movement. And it's bone chilled again. Amazing. And it's dead this turn, but the main thing is bone chilled again. Great.
They should all be running.
So that's that boy down. Now let's have a quick peek at our stats. Who's got good wisdom? Barely anyone. Will's is slightly superior to anyone else's. I'm just thinking about the old sentient amulet type dealio. Karlach would want to go and fetch it because she's our lockpicker, but then again, it doesn't matter who fetches it if we bring back the chest. So Mo is big and strong and can do jumps. So maybe Mo is the best bet. Because she can just bounce from here all the way over there. And pick up the chest. Now Karlach can open the thing. Without too much difficulty. And then the teamwork continues as Will picks up the amulet.
Thou hast come!
The amulet is heavy, but holds a subtle warmth, like it was left under the sun. Suddenly, the metal surges with heat. You feel great power and an overwhelming urge to laugh.
Can thou endure?
Ah, we've got a Warlock wisdom option, so it's the same but with more advantage. We'll give that a spin. Nice.
Your power spikes, banishing the urge to laugh in an instant.
Thou hast done well. For what is a laugh if not one step toward madness? Thou art the wonder! Return me, take me home, and thou shalt glow with blessings.
Are you a ghost? What happened to you?
A ghost? I am sunlight on water, dew on grass. Sharons broke my body, but my spirit they could not. Well, not completely. Thou shalt return me home. It is written.
Okay, so where are we returning you and to whom?
To thy granddaughter, Shira Clarwen. Serves Ilmater, she does. She waits in Worm's Crossing. Take me there, and thou shalt bathe in her golden gifts. Oh, thou shalt be blessed indeed.
Well, come along then. We'll stick you in our bag for now.
You feel a chuckle coming on, but it soon fades.
It's not a terribly onerous side quest, so I think we can bring him along. And now we're at the forge and ready for our big boss fight of the episode. And I'm really not sure how it's going to go. Definitely no chance of getting to level 7 before we do it. So let us start by going back to camp. I should like to double check our chest of wonders. There's not a great deal in there in the way of blunt weapons. There's a bit of piercing. There's a shattered flail. So I'm not terribly sure that's going to help us a lot. We do have the Club of Hill Giant Strength, which Gale is hanging on to for the moment. If Mo were to equip it, she would do 5 to 8 damage, but if she's actually got it equipped, would that change? No, it's still 5 to 8. Because it doesn't actually affect her strength all that much. It's not really a great weapon. It's more of a utility thing. So I guess we can pop it in here. We do have the Shattered Flail, of course, but we've seen what happens when we try and use that. So we might have to rely on not being able to do much. Although, we've got Near's Head, we could hand that in. I don't think it'll make a whole lot of difference to anything, but whilst we're back there, we could see if there's any shops. But then do we get the bliss spores for handing in this? Maybe we do. Maybe for once, I should do things in the right order and rest before I hand in Nir's head. What do you hold? You've got my nature snare that I gave you a while ago. Nothing terribly handy on Blurg. We've got an amulet of Misty Step that no one seems to be using. I guess no one's got a huge use for it, really. So let's have that rest. And here's gnomes.
Same as us, I expect.
Hi, friends.
Thanks again for offing that drow. Only made it here because of you. But I can't stop thinking about the rest of us. Stuck in Moonrise with a bunch of sadists. Poor bastards.
That's cool. I'm on my way to get
Some
them.
rest. Maybe we can still go back for the others.
No
Spore.
lump bug. Our work.
Peacebringer, be at home.
Would you like me to give you some head?
The drow sought to shatter our circle. Now his flesh may feed its growth. In dealing death, you have brought this circle life, and thus we name you Life Chanter.
Hooray! It's rave time.
As our circle grows, so shall your song. Wherever you go, only listen, and you may hear it.
Wonderful. So we have got the voice of the circle.
Is bigger than any one of us. Even Walbrook.
And I might have been wrong about when you get the bliss spores. That might have been one of the earlier things. We've already lost them. Oh well. Just have a quick check, see if Dareth's got anything useful for us.
Just leave me, I said. You've done enough damage already.
Look, I said I was sorry. She's got the corrosive flail. It's +1, does reasonable damage, but no, heck with it then. We'll just go into the fight. And we'll see how we get on. Worst case scenario, Mo can deal with the methods. Some moulds. We do want shield. Because Karlach needs a new shield, I think. We also want better armor for Mo. So we'll pop one in. I'm thinking we could possibly equip it mid-fight. But I'm not 100% on that. Now, where do we want everyone? I'm under the impression that Minor Illusion might be useful. So let's see. What if Mo stands... What if Will stands over here? Karlach and Mo can stand over here. Let's see how things are going to work out. Will, spin the wheel if you would be so good. Here he is. Old Grim himself. His big claw. Don't bode well for old Will. So then. What's your deal, Grim? Adamantine Reverberation is your legendary action. When you're struck, you reverberate, and your movement is doubled, and you get 10 temporary hit points. Losing these temporary hit points triggers a shockwave that messes everyone up. Okay. So currently you're vulnerable to bludgeoning damage. And you're resistant to quite a lot of other things. Immune to lightning, fire and necrotic, poison, psychic and radiant. And resistant to acid, thunder, force and cold. Is there anything else that's not on this list? It's kind of annoying. It shows you what they're vulnerable to and what they're not. But there might be another damage type that I'm not thinking of that he's actually just fine with. It doesn't affect him one way or the other. But do we want to give him a bash with old Will? That would cause him to reverberate and double his movement speed. Or do we want to just back up, maybe, and stick with what my original plan is, which is putting a minor illusion on there. He's turned his head to look at it. Oh, it's a little pumpkin. Wow. Wonderful. So let's just end our turns and see what happens. All being well, Grim is going to stroll towards the Puskin. He's not, he's coming towards Will. This is one of the various things that I didn't want to happen. I was under the impression that he is triggered by minor illusions. And now he's facing the minor illusion still. Wow. What would happen if we trigger an attack with Karlach or whatever? We can still try that method, can't we, of pulling him about by attacking him. Does he now have a prime target on Karlach? No, because he didn't take damage. There we go. Threat assessment is triggered. So let's back off. Adamantine reverberations trigger. So maybe he's now got enough movement to get to Karlach this turn. That would suck. But I'm going to just let everyone else chill. And off he goes. Stop there, please. No, he's gone too far. Okay. So he can reach her. So how does one trigger him? She is no longer a prime target, it seems. He is looking at the cat once again. The cat can't be controlled, so we can't tell the cat to lure him or anything like that. So let's just end our turn and see what happens again. Okay, so everything I'd learned about this guy is a lie. That's... well, it sucks to know, but at least we know it. Will has failed to attract its attention, I guess. It's still superheated for the moment, but unless it comes this way, it's not going to stay that way for long. There we go, we've got its attention again. But he's going to make it all the way over here this turn, isn't he? So... yeah. Off he goes. So how are you supposed to deal with him? We've lost prime target. He's looking once again towards the cat. And we are apparently in attack of opportunity range here, despite the fact... oh no, we can jump there. Okay. I'm curious to see where he goes now. If we all just... chill. He's not going to go towards the cat. He is just going to go towards the nearest person. But then again, is that the end of the world? We would trigger an opportunity attack if we try and get to the middle. And then we would trigger further attacks from him. Maybe we do just need to stand in the middle with someone. Oh. Yeah, come over here if you can, friend. Hiss. But we can't actually get his attention because we keep missing our attacks. Balls. Karlach. I really don't want you to be the one who gets his attention though. Oh fucking why did you stand in there, you twat? You could have easily jumped across. And now you've taken 40 damage. What a prick. Okay, he's gone for possibly the Mo? Yeah. He's gone for Mo, and he's very nearly wiped her out in a single hit, which sucks. She can't move without triggering an attack. Maybe she has to take one for the team. And boy did she take one for the team there. She really took one. What are you cackling about, Karlach? I need you to do some work. I need you to heal up Mo. Amazing. And then whilst you're at it, can you also shoot some methods? Not enough to kill it, but you shot one for sure. Okay. Now, Gale, can you ping a method? You can. This bugger now is prone for 2 turns, but he's still superheated, so he's still vulnerable to damage, right? Will, can you jump across there without killing yourself? You can. Bam. That's real damage. He's prone for 2 turns. We like this. Mo, you have been healed to some extent, but not a huge extent. Maybe it's best for you to just get out of dodge for the moment. Right, he's getting up. He's prone for 2 turns, so where's he getting up? And he's doing a quake, which hits
Now it really is a party.
a whole lot of people. Hisk. But he's still superheated. Does that mean that Gale can just hit the lever again? It does. That doesn't really help Will, who is looking pretty worse for wear, all told. But he's still prone for 2 turns, therefore if we can get Will on his feet, will this boy actually stay down this time? Right, you're not in the lava, are you, Will? You weren't before you were knocked down. So I assume that you're not now. It looks like you're not. Good. I don't want to attack him this turn in case that causes him to stand up. But we could throw another potion at Will. Not that I think it will help in the long run. Now, as for these boys, we should probably start whittling them down. Karlach can certainly do a number on them to some extent. She could also use a potion though. But she doesn't have any about her person. A little one should be enough to keep her alive. Cool. Now, Will, please stand in the middle if you can. Do you need to heal further? Probably not. So Mephits are going to bother Karlach. Oh no. Heat metal on Mo. That's not the end of the world. Psionic backlash is good. Heat metal on Will. He can't drop his weapon, can he? But we still don't really want it. And we got 1,000,001 spells. Also, there's more Mephits. I didn't realise there were extra Mephits hanging around. So now the question is just, will Grim get up this turn? Or is that prone for 2 turns actually telling the truth? Okay, that prone for 2 turns was just a fucking lie. Because he's up on his feet. And now he's quaking everyone again. So, maybe we sacrifice Will. Maybe we also deal with some of these Mephits with Mo. Good. Wonderful. Now, Will, can you get the attention of Grim somehow? What's your best bet for getting his attention? Bone Shield won't damage him, but it would still get him, right? Wouldn't it? You haven't got the strength to really jump across things, so maybe the bow is the best bet. 50% chance. 2 shots. They've both missed. Okay. Let's stand you there. And maybe we try another minor illusion. That does get his attention, as a cat should. And then we scuttle away slightly. He might go for Will. So actually, maybe Will. Can we cancel your end turn? I want to move you back a bit, if we can. Doesn't look as though we can cancel you. Very well. Normally you can cancel end turn, so I'm not sure why we can't there. But Karlach, you can definitely shoot a Mephit. And finish it off. And then I'd like you to step away from Grin.
Where do I go from here?
And he's slammed Will. And he's quaked. Okay.
Healing for a wizard in need.
Gale. Outstanding. Will kind of got hammered. Yeah. Things didn't work out so well there for Will. But that's why we brought scrolls along.
This isn't good.
That was rough. Now, what shall we do? We shall pick up Grim's helmet. And we should pick up our scale mail. And we're going to just put those on right now. So the scale mail is distinctly better in terms of armor class. The main thing is attackers can't land crits on the wearer. That is the main reason why we wanted that armor. And although Helm Smiting is good for Will, we are going to change it for the Grimskull Helm. So Will is now also protected from crits. That just leaves Karlach and Gale. But that fight was terrifyingly close to going wrong. I was right to be scared of that one at the very least. So we'll bring in some more lava. Wonderful. And then Karlach can pull the lever and earn herself a new shield. We'll just wait a moment for the lava to die down. Generally wise. And there we go, the adamantine shield. And therefore Karlach is now immune from crits as well. Wonderful! Geez, though. Geez is all we can say to everything that's occurred in here. Geez and or heck. Let's leave this awful place once and for all. Unless we come back to go through the Shadowlands in this direction. But I forget which direction I'd like to go. But that's for another time. Kresh Ilek is what awaits us right now. Seems like it would be appropriate to bring Lae'zel in. I forget whether or not we've got any decent gear for her, but I think the answer was not really. Yeah, she's got a short bow. But 3 of the team should be able to do well. And then we'll gradually pick up some extra bits of gear for her from the other dudes hanging around the place, I'd imagine. So who do we sit out for this fight? Probably one of the melee attackers. I think Will can stay at home for now.
Good. Our victory is most certain.
How close are we to another level? Very close. Possibly a bit further behind on Will because of how he just got battered. But pretty close on everyone else. Shall we just bob out? Have we got any other charisma people on our team? We've got Gale. So we can still get good shot prices. So let's have a look. We've got hand crossbows, we've got light crossbows. It seems like a waste of money to buy a crossbow though, when we're about to kill a bunch of Gith and get a free one. But it might be worth it. I think we could probably be stingy. Lae'zel will be in the fight soon enough. So first step should probably be the Zaithis, I think. Oh yeah, the little Grem getting bashed about the place. Poor thing. Here we are. A couple of new journal updates. Some mind flayers over here.
Take it. It might be useful.
Yoink.
Best get in.
Don't mind if I do. Where do we put them? Displace. And repulsor. Yeah, our brain's getting quite parasited up. We love it. Now, Stornagos. I love her voice.
There's a parasite.
Vertical incision from pineal eye to end of notochord. Intestinal coloration consistent with samples 231 to 259. Do you have a question? Or are you just going to stand there gawking?
I am a child of Gith, not discarded rat flesh. Am I not due your respect?
Perhaps. Perhaps not. Let the Istik with you speak, and I will decide what respect you're owed.
Actually, no. I would like Lae'zel to speak on my behalf.
Lae'zel, is it? Fine. And be quick. My work is of vital import.
We carry Geich tadpoles and have done so for countless days, yet we show no symptoms. We must enter the Zaithsk.
You are infected, but showing no signs of cerebral impairment. Fascinating. Either your tadpole is special, or you are. We must find out which.
I'm
Go
special.
to the Zaithsk. I will ensure you're cured.
You have my thanks.
Your gratitude is unnecessary. The procedure brings its own rewards. Even Githyanki rarely experiences Aethys. You are very lucky, Istik.
Well, actually, I'm going to let Lae'zel go first, if that's all okay with you.
The device is strange, made of taut flesh and pockmarked metal. It waits for something.
The Zaith'isk. Vlaakith's purity distilled. My duty. My right.
Go ahead, Lae'zel. You've earned it.
Praise Vlaakith. Let it be done.
If anything goes wrong,
child.
we don't want to be the first one in
Let
it.
the Zaith'isk end your suffering.
Yeah. This is not a good-looking machine.
You must focus on the parasite at all times. The Zaith'isk will do the rest.
I have forebodings.
An unseen blade cleaves your mind in two. Impossible pain sears your bones and body in concert with Lae'zel's. The Zaith'isk's psionic forces batter Lae'zel's thoughts. There is no chance she will survive this unscathed.
Yes, child. Speak the Talakit. Meditate on its verses.
You feel Lae'zel's mind rip and rupture. Is this purification? Is this the cure?
Is there anything we can do, Doc? Lae'zel is in great pain here.
The Zaith'isk is working as intended.
You share in Lae'zel's agony. Every cell within her skull bursts into a constellation of fragments, sorted and reassembled. Lae'zel will die if she remains.
Yes, child. Jamar, Zala, Vlaakith, call to your queen.
My queen! Hear me!
That thing looks set to kill her.
Your vision narrows. You sense myriad specters of Githyanki past. This is their fate. This is their anguish.
What does it mean? Lulu, I'm trying to roll a dice here. Thank you. We don't know what anything means.
The pain is too great. The visions flicker, but refuse to come into focus.
Yes, child. Face her will.
Your marrow quakes within your bones. Behind the pain, a new sensation rises. Power.
Remove her!
Let's see if we can't draw on its power. Take it as our own. This is the 30 difficulty roll, I believe. That's not 30. But this is the sort of roll where I might use some inspirations, don't you know? That's also not 30. That's definitely not. We basically need the natural 20, but we've got like 5 chances, so it's not unheard of that we could get it. But now we're down to 1 chance, and Lulu has just pressed the button on my keyboard that summons the calculator, which also tabs you out of the game, of course. Thanks, Lulu. I'm currently holding her off the keyboard with one thumb on her paw to stop it pressing down
The
again.
Zaith'isk overwhelms the both of you. A weight of the astral sea crushes your mind and spirit.
Enough!
Blam. That probably wasn't meant to happen.
Damn it all! The parasite. I still feel it.
No, you don't.
I am Githyanki. I will not be gay.
My life's work gone. And yet she lives. And so does her parasite.
No, the
Her
parasite's
voice
dead.
cuts with a fanatical edge, an obsession bordering on mania. If there's a chance the parasite lives, she wants it.
I can assure you the parasite is in fact dead. And now we've got no inspirations left. Oh, there's our critical success. I mean, better late than never, I suppose.
Really? Then all this destruction was a symptom of its power? Incredible. I am disappointed that we could not extract it alive. It would have been an exceptional specimen. In any case, the problem is resolved. Leave me. I must salvage what I can.
Yeah, you salvage things,
No!
Doc.
I followed the protocol. I must be cleansed.
It would be nice if we could steal that last
You were
specimen.
lucky I was there to save you once again.
But we're kind of being watched, I think. Yeah, we are. Okay. Oh, Karlach's leveled up. Wonderful. But we'll deal with that and this conversation with Lae'zel next time. Until then, thanks for watching, friends.